Now let's begin the conversation. Death will always hurt, but we have to take pleasure in life well-defined and a purpose well fulfilled. President Bola Tinubu has extended his heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Kogi State over the passing of the first Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Professor Tom Adaba, who passed away at the age of 83. In a statement signed by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Ononuga, the president commended the immense contributions of the late Professor Adaba to journalism in Nigeria, as well as his teachings, mentoring, and consultancy. The late Professor Adaba was an icon of the broadcast industry and an inspiration to many in the profession and beyond. All right, BQ, our heart goes out to the family of late Professor Tom Adaba, the government, and also the people of Kogi State following the death of this renowned broadcaster. What will he be remembered for?
Oh, so many things. In those days, when the NTA was the only known TV stations in our country, Tom, being a frontline broadcaster, had the responsibility of moderating election debates and NTA's own election day situation room. So it was his duty to let Nigerians know as the results were trickling in, you know, in those days. We didn't have any other TV station, so you were bound to watch NTA News, and he became very popular at that time for that role that he played. And of course, being the first DG of the NBC, which is the regulatory body for broadcast stations in our country, his role cannot be forgotten. I was privileged to meet him at an event, and he expressed the desire to host me, you know, whenever I was in Abuja, but it turned out that I would not be able to have that one-on-one with him. But he will be remembered, and he also produced good journalists, a very good anchor who used to work at TVC here. But I think he's gone abroad now. Kogi has always produced tremendous, brilliant people across all sectors. And you are talking about the broadcast media. There's no way you won't mention Tom Adaba.
What would you say about his professionalism on the job?
We were, in terms of his early journalistic life, I'm too young to talk about that. But yes, but from what I saw of him at a distance, I can very well understand why he rose that high in the NTA of those days. So because his delivery, his all-round knowledge, and his the quality of elocution was always there. Anybody brought up by the NTA of those days with Christopher Kolade in charge, they had to be excellent. It's not what we see today. Lazy anchors will not first research how a name is pronounced. They just come on air and murder people's names. Nobody could dare that when Christopher Kolade was DG. Your job is gone. You must not murder anybody's name. And NTA was also used to unify Nigerians. You saw broadcasters from the north, from the south. If they had to pronounce your name, they would pronounce it with perfection. We had so many of them. Dan Ladi Bako,
Cyril Stoza.
All of them, you know. And Nasir Zaradin, none of them will pronounce anybody's name badly. It will not happen. Not the NTA that I grew up watching. Hawa Baba Ahmed, all of them, they will pronounce your name excellently. Today's journalists, today's lazy broadcasters need to learn from people like Tom Adaba in terms of the excellence that they brought to the practice of the profession. You don't go on air without joining in the production.
Okay.
You will see names that you had not encountered before. It doesn't take you anything to ask the correspondent in that state. He'll be able to help you. And if you cannot find the correspondent, you can still find people who will tell you that this is the way this name is pronounced. Not to murder people's names, because those guys at NTA at that time, Elizabeth Nze, all of them, they never did that. I never saw them do it. And people who are listening to me,
yeah, they will
confirm that if you did that, Christopher Kolade will call you into his office, will give you a hairdryer, and you may never return to that job.
Yeah, they say you get a call from upstairs.
Yes, so you know what that means. Somebody was telling us that it's pronounced Beethoven, the songwriter.
Yeah, the songwriter, yeah.
Then sent for him. The next time you pronounce this name in this way, you are gone. So people took their job seriously. There is a lot that we can learn from the older people.
True. There's a lot we can
learn. Most of them are
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But they say that the story of Nigeria's broadcast industry will not be complete without a generous reference to the contribution of Professor Dabbas.
Yeah, he came on board at a time when the truly educated Nigerians are trying very hard to ensure that those of us coming behind really know how to do the job. Nobody does that anymore. Mentorship is virtually dead. Not only in broadcasting.
Mentorship is virtually dead.
Unless we are talking about mentoring people in the wrong way, that we know. So Professor Adaba, just like some other people that we've mentioned.
It's Adaba, Domeme, not Adaba.
Works at a place that we find it difficult not to be excellent. Okay. Because NTA was the only network that we have.
We have to link up.
So you have to be the best of the best to appear on television. It's not that because your brother is there or you come from the DG's hometown, you must have passed 3 levels of excellence for you to be on camera. And according to one of us on radio, who also anchored this program, he'll tell you that you are given only 2 strikes. You only make mistakes twice. From that point, you are gone. You are sent back to the training school. It doesn't matter the number of years you have put into the profession. Once you make that mistake of mispronouncing names consistently, you know some people have what they call the cleft tongue. Okay. The other they cannot pronounce R's or S. People like that. So most of them are forced to come into the context of how to do so, even if you have to pause. Because I know a guy who cannot pronounce the word V. Okay. He has to go to F. So we will pause for about 2-3 seconds to
make sure that
it will come out. We used to make fun of him, but after a while, he said that's the only backdrop he has, but it's working. Nowadays, he will say it the way people say it in Ibadan. I will get away with it. In the old days, Prof would not allow people like that to be on television or on radio. That's how articulate and meticulous those old school people were.
And that's just the truth. Young broadcasters, like, we have a lot to learn from, from people who have actually gone.
And some of them are still available for training and for mentorship.
Yeah, you said that mentorship is, I think, is about pride.
No, you see, the thing is, you can choose who you want as your mentor.
As your mentor.
I have mentors, for example. Ohia Legwe, I'm proud to say he's my mentor. Nasir Zaradin is my mentor.
Okay.
Danladi Bako, who used to be the poster boy of Nigerian broadcasting, the man who anchored Morning Ride, which was the most famous program in Nigeria at that time. Morning Ride, the favorite of most Nigerians, is my mentor. When I have questions, I ask them, I call them, and they're happy to tell me, Jide, this is the way to go about it. You know, so learning is a continuous thing. The journalist who is not prepared to learn, the unreading journalist, is not fit for the profession.
I agree.
It's not fit for the profession. Because education edifies you. It brings you out of the cesspit of ignorance. And you become a much better person.
True.
So we must continually learn. When you speak with the 3 persons that I mentioned, even for a few minutes, you start learning. You learn and unlearn the things that you didn't know. You discover that you are being taught right away.
Absolutely.
So, and that is what I want the younger people who are even coming behind us to learn.
Okay. All right then. All right, gentlemen. Let's move straight to our next conversation.